For centuries, the story of the Minotaur, a monstrous half-man, half-bull, trapped in a vast labyrinth built by the cunning King Minos, was considered just that, a story. A powerful myth from the dawn of Greek culture. Its origin lies in a relatively extinct civilization. At the turn of the 20th century, an English archaeologist named Sir Arthur Evans began digging into a large mound on the island of Crete. He wasn't looking for myth. He was looking for history. What he uncovered would stun the world: the vast, complex Palace of Knossos. And with it, he unearthed an entire civilization, previously unknown to history: the Minoans, Europe's first advanced society. The Minoan civilization flourished on the island of Crete from approximately 3,500 to 1100 BC, reaching its peak during the Middle Bronze Age, what historians call the Neopalatial or New Palace period, from around 1750 to 1490 BC. Their success was born from geography and ingenuity. Situated at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa, Crete was the perfect hub for Mediterranean trade. The Minoans were not a land-based power of conquest. They were a thalassocracy, a sea empire. Their sophisticated ships, depicted in their art, carried prized goods across the known world: exquisite pottery, saffron, olive oil, and finely crafted metalwork. This immense wealth, derived from commerce, funded the construction of their breathtaking architectural marvels, the great palatial complexes. The Minoan palaces were not simply royal homes. They were the absolute economic and administrative hearts of the civilization. The largest, Knossos, was a vast, multi-storied complex so intricate that it likely inspired the later myth of the Labyrinth. But these were not chaotic mazes. They were marvels of Bronze Age engineering. The palaces featured advanced water management systems, with terracotta pipes for running water and drainage. They had expansive storage magazines filled with massive jars called pithoi, which held the agricultural surplus that was the state's wealth. Light wells provided illumination and ventilation to the lower floors. Central open courtyards were the focus of activity, perhaps for public gatherings and religious ceremonies. The absence of significant fortifications around these sprawling, open complexes is a defining characteristic, suggesting a sense of security and dominance at sea that made walls on land unnecessary. Minoan art is instantly recognizable for its vibrancy, fluidity, and love of the natural world. Unlike the formal, rigid art of contemporary Egypt or Mesopotamia, Minoan frescoes burst with life. They depict dolphins, monkeys, lilies, and elegant wasp-waisted figures in dynamic poses. This artistry reveals a society that appreciated beauty, movement, and the natural environment. Central to their world was religion, which appears to have been dominated by female deities. Figurines of powerful snake goddesses suggest a strong matriarchal element in their worship. The sacred symbol of the double axe, or labris, is found everywhere, and most famously, the bull was a potent, sacred animal. The dangerous ritual of bull leaping, depicted in famous frescoes, was likely a key religious ceremony, combining athleticism, grace, and immense risk, a direct link to the later myth of the Minotaur. One of the greatest mysteries of the Minoans is their language. Thousands of clay tablets were discovered and inscribed with their script, known as Linear A. These were administrative documents recording inventories of goods and materials. The structure of their economy is observable, but the words are unreadable. Linear A has stubbornly resisted all attempts at decipherment. Linear B, however, are readable. This later script, adapted from Linear A, was used by the Mycenaeans on the Greek mainland to write an early form of Greek. Its decipherment in the 1950s proved that the Mycenaeans administered Knossos in its final period. But the original Minoan language, the thoughts of the people who built the first palaces, their stories and their names for their gods, all of this remains locked away in the undeciphered Linear A silent testament to their uniqueness. The end of the Minoans is a puzzle with multiple pieces. Around 1600 BC, the volcanic island of Thera, 110 kilometers north of Crete, suffered one of the largest eruptions in human history. The explosion would have been catastrophic, sending tsunamis crashing against the northern coast of Crete and blanketing the eastern part of the island in ash, crippling agriculture and devastating the fleet. While the eruption did not immediately destroy Knossos, it irrevocably broke the back of Minoan power. Weakened and vulnerable, Crete seems to have fallen under the influence of the rising, more warlike Mycenaeans from mainland Greece. The archaeological record shows a change: the introduction of Mycenaean weaponry, burial practices, and the use of linear B. By around 1100 BC, the palace culture was gone. The great complexes were finally abandoned, and Europe's first civilization faded into legend, waiting for Arthur Evans's shovel to bring it back to light. The Minoan legacy is profound. They were the first link in the chain of European history, pioneering advanced architecture, art, and maritime trade. Their cultural influence heavily shaped the subsequent Mycenaean civilization, which in turn formed the bedrock of classical Greek myth and identity. The story of King Minos and the Minotaur was the Greek memory of a magnificent, real, and lost world. The Minoans stand as a testament to human creativity and a reminder of how even the greatest of civilizations remain subject to the powerful forces of nature.